Start clean with Clorox, because Clorox delivers a powerful clean every time. Because messes happen. Because I got the charcoal mask. Great, because why would I put that on my face when I could drop it in my sink? This is what I get for multitasking. Ugh, why is charcoal so sticky?
Hello?
Hey, Janice. I am so sorry. I thought I was on mute. No, we don't need to reschedule. I'll just stay off camera. Ooh, yeah, that happens. So start clean with Clorox. Use Clorox products as directed.
At Capella University, you'll get support from people who care about your success. From before you enroll to after you graduate, pursue your goals knowing help is available when you need it. Imagine your future differently at capella.edu.
Yo, what up? This is DJ Newmark, a.k.a.
Uncle New.
From Jurassic 5, and you're checking out the library with my main man, Tim Onicle, on www.rapstation.com.
It's no obedience, allegiance is a lost term. The weak switch sides so expedient. Humbled by the hunger pains, plotting on the greediest. Changing under leadership, snakes selecting leeches and removing all the nutrients. We were building a new.
Godzilla is a group consisting of 3 actual brothers, Acem, Truth, and Powerful. Their newest album comes out June 2nd on HiPNOTT Records and is called Believe in Godzilla. Godzilla, welcome to the library with Tim Onicle on rapstation.com.
Peace, man. What's good?
Nice.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being on. So this is first off, in your bio, it seems that you guys make it a point to say that you guys are actual 3 brothers. Why is it important for you to let us know that you guys are blood family?
Most important thing, family is everything, man.
Mm-hmm.
Family over everything. So, everybody can relate to that because everybody has a family. And when you do something with your family, man, it's always special. I think it's special, man. It's very unique. It's a different bond. And I just know that family is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's rather unique. I don't know of too many actual physical brothers that form rap bonds or rap groups throughout the years. I remember Kane and Abel from No Limit, and Double Trouble from back in the day, but not too many actual trios of physical blood brothers. So that's like, we nowadays you need a gimmick for rap. We don't really have a gimmick besides, raw lyrics and raw beats. So I guess I catch to get people to listen is like these are actually 3 blood brothers. You dig?
Right, definitely. How much of a role does the kind of the brother hierarchy play in the group? I know Powerful, like you, I'm the youngest of 3. And I feel like there are times, even though I'm 35, right? There are times I still need approval from my older brother. Is that the case when you guys are performing together, or are you guys kind of able to turn certain parts off and on as the sibling relationship?
So you hit it right on the nose, man. You're right, man. That's right, exactly, man. It's like a check and balance, man, and it helps me. It helps me grow more because I don't have people that sugarcoat in their opinion.
Right.
I got people that give it to me with no filter because they know me from birth. So it's nothing to hold back. There's nothing to say, well, I don't want to say something and make, this bond different. This is, brotherly love. And while doing that, man, I've grown to know that that's the best part, to grow older and be able to give back to the youth.
Mm-hmm.
So as they give back to me as my brother, I try to do the same with my little brother and other brothers that I adopt just by, the culture and what it is.
Nice. And for Truth and Acem, how does the brother hierarchy work for you guys when you guys are in the studio together?
It's basically a natural. It's a natural progression, man. The actual brotherhood, and this is Acem, the eldest brother. The brotherhood just transcends to the work.
Mm-hmm.
To the music, to the studio, whether it be in a jokingly manner, whether we playing the dozens, or whether we, ragging on somebody for a line and be like, hey, man, I don't know about that line. The same type of thing happened, the same thing that happened in the household transcends to the studio, except for, the seriousness and the work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
When they get down to dirty, and when they get down to, when we get down to the line, when it's time to go, we all know to straighten up because we've been doing this for so long. We've been doing it together for so long. So the same thing that, you know, that we came up in the household, in the room, and the same kind of thing that transcended, but just in a more mature fashion.
Right, and this truth, I just piggyback off what my younger and older brother said. Basically, the whole checks and balances system, and it's no, I guess, to link it to some hip-hop, you know, I'm a big old hip-hop enthusiast, like the Wu-Tang. Every time you see the Wu-Tang interviews from day one, from the show DVD, they will be arguing with each other or having their differences, but they always portray like brothers. Nobody outside of the clan can say anything, and no matter what they say to each other, it will all, at the end of the day, it was always peace. It was nothing ever that lingered on or carried on. Even when they had their public differences, you know, it was a phone call, you know, or something, and it was dead. So we don't, you know, it can't get, you know, we got the same father at the end of the day. Like, he is the final check and balance. So if we got out of line and let our heads get too big from this rap thing, you know, we would definitely be put in check by the old divine. So that's how we look at it. You know, we all physical brothers. This rap thing is all good, but it's way bigger than that, you know.
Nice. Like I said, we're speaking to Godzilla. Their new album is Believing Godzilla. Guys, I want to get into the kind of the album, but first off, what is the mission of this album, and did it change as the album was being created, or did it kind of stay the same from start to finish?
The album actually came about from the title, and the title came about from it's just basically a culmination of our experiences with this music thing. When we came out with our first album, we put a lot into it. We of course independent. We were fully independent at that time. Released the first album on UAU Music, and when we approached that album, to a lot of people, I mean, just in comparison to now, to a lot of people, we were fairly unknown. So when we pressed up the album, we went, you know, with professional pressing and actually, you know, the presentation was at a level that, you know, costed, I mean, to be realistic, that costed some money to produce. But we believed in and the people that believed in us from the day one when we started rapping. So when we put all that effort behind the album, we believed that we would be able to sell that album and break. And it was a bold thing to do because it was so early in our careers as far as Godzilla is concerned, to put out an album for sale. But we did that, and we believed in the people that was behind us to, you know, to get us to the next level, and it worked out. So now this time around, we on our second studio album, this following the CPR Blend tape hosted by Erykah Badu. But this is our second actual studio album, and now it's time for the, you know, the people to really believe in us, to take us to that next level, to be able to, you know, continue to bring the type of music that they've grown to appreciate from us. So this is a call out to the fans, to call out to everybody, man, you know, to see who's still out there to support, you know, real, true music.
I want to get into a couple of the records of the, you know, the album. The first one is Forestville, produced by Joe.D. And it's an ode to Forestville, Maryland. And even though you guys are from Brooklyn, right? Why record a record about Forestville, Maryland versus not one about Brooklyn?
Well, correction is actually powerful. Our younger brother spent most of his childhood in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
And later, as you hear in the hook, he said them summers he would come to us with his older brothers. He'll come stay with us in Forestville, Maryland. So Acem and I actually grew up in Forestville, Maryland. Our parents are from New York City. So Acem and I kind of grew up in Forestville, and we established ourselves here and made a home for Powerful. Just like anytime we go to Brooklyn, the Pink House, East New York, we was good because of Powerful. You know, he can show us the ropes. So we like some of the first rappers from Forestville, and a lot of time when you get rappers from a not so popular city or a small city, they tend to represent the biggest city close to them. Mm-hmm. So a lot of rappers from our area city, from D.C., quote unquote the DMV. So we wanted to take a time to just put our small city on the map, because in that small city of Forestville, it is so much going on. If you ever we wanted to bring people on a visit there, just like P.D. Pablo did for North Carolina, or Nelly did for St. Louis, or Master P did for New Orleans, and all of them things. You know, Brooklyn, everybody did a Brooklyn record, so it was like a bridge from Brooklyn to Forestville. So it was a way to pay homage to both of the places that we grew up at collectively. So that was a big deal for us, you know.
Eating like an animal, up and up all evening, we represent for you. If you know me, then it's Brooklyn to the death. It was Forestville, MD, them summers when I left. That's where my family at, that's the hood that I'm a rep. And I spent so many nights throwing dice at the steps. If you know me, then it's Brooklyn to the death, but it's Forestville MD. Them summers when I left, that's where my family at. That's the hood that I'm a rep, and I spent so many nights throwing dice at the steps.
I mean, not knowing much about Forestville, how did that shape you guys kind of as artists? I mean, there's a lot of hip hop coming out of Forestville, or is it really more like you said, the major cities around it?
It's just basically another reflection of the people that we've been around and we've come to know, and the love that we've been able to extract from a place that's not necessarily your sweetest neighborhood, but we've been able to, appreciate the thing and the brotherhood and the relationships that we've been able to create. And sometimes that's all that you got, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's all you got is love. You know what I'm saying? All you got is the people that you split their 4 wings of fries with, or 4 wings of mumbo sauce and you split it with. And we wanted, and that's what we got, man. The same thing that we get from from family and we get from each other, man. It's a fast of the love, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we get. We get experience, We get experience. We get the experience of, some brothers that came up and went to college and went to Morgan State and graduated and came back home to Forestville and still the depth of the people that we came up and went to elementary and middle school and high schools with. You know what I'm saying? We come to it's just a part of our overall experience. And it's a unique experience in the same breath. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but basically, Forestville shaped is just like any other, major or big city, because it's a small city, but it seems like a big city. A lot of, lower to middle class or middle to upper class folks that's just urban and struggling, but still appreciating the love that they get. So that's what the big thing is. And all the struggle, we still sort of love, and that's what Forestville represents.
In Straight Face, I feel you guys do a lot of great things on this track, kind of that represents the kind of what you guys do on the entire album. Well, first off, it sounds like you guys are just having a blast doing what you're doing as an art form.
Right.
But then you're able to reference your past and obstacles that may be in your way, but at the same time, I think you're also empowering your listeners. When approaching a track like this, how do you stray away from glorifying the past, but wanting to talk about it? And then also another thing, there's a reference to Eric Wright, aka Eazy. As East Coast MCs, how, if at all, did Eazy influence you guys?
That's a great question. We actually students. We're students of the culture, man. So our box, our tape box, our CD box was always mixed, man. There was always a mixed batch. You're going to have Wu-Tang, you're going to have Scarface, you're going to have Eazy-E, you're going to have Brotherless Hunt. And I think that's the benefit of us growing up in the Middle East. And speaking from truth and I, as far as like growing up in the middle of the East Coast, we were able to appreciate the South just as much as the South, the West, just as much as we had an affinity for the East Coast music. So that was basically, and our approach to a track like that, for me, and this is something that I actually, truthfully, I let my brothers know, sometimes when I approach it like hard beats like that, shout out to Joe.D, I kind of like envision myself like the gate just open and it's time to just go hard, when it's just time to just rap, we don't necessarily got it. The gate just open and it's time to go and we just run it, so everybody running for that, and whatever you want, whatever it may be, maybe be food or whatever you may want, but it's just out there for you, and the gates is open. It's every man for himself when it's time to go. That's how I approach those kind of tracks personally. Okay,
yeah, man, Straight Face, man, that was a special one for me, man, because I had to basically, like, I was a real student at that time. We were performing on some other show, and I wasn't right with it. Like I didn't know what was going down, and I wasn't prepared. So I was like, what, with this track, I'm gonna put my all into it, and that's exactly what I did, man. I studied the rule, man. I really literally sat back, listened to the track so many times, so as though I was like, all right, well, when I go in, this is what I gotta fill up. I gotta fill these shoes. I'm thinking about the elders and the people in the game that really paved the way, especially for people like me. Powerful, born into the culture, the nation of the gods and the earth.
Yeah, that's dope. It's funny that you point that record. I'm glad it's one of your favorites. I'm glad you're a true listener. Tim, that was dope. But when approaching Straight Face, the track is just that. You say how we tackle things that's so serious without, being glorifying it. And that's what Straight Face is. For the most part, it's like you can't hide your struggle. You know, I think Kweli had an album called Beautiful Struggle.
Right.
So it's the beauty in all the pain and all the things you go through, you know, and sometimes you can't always, you got to have a poker face, you know. You want to smile, but you can't smile because your smile can be taken as a weakness. You want to tighten up your face and mean mug, but then you become a target. They already know, you know, how they can just point you out the lineup type thing. So Straight Face was just a real serious track, and it was a serious flexing of lyrics. And you heard once Joe.D present a beat like that, it's hard not to go hard, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's no playing the background, you know? So that's how that thing came about, man.
I think I probably listened to that song like 20 times since yesterday, so...
Thanks.
Good luck.
That was actually the first battle.
We're actually battling between that and Forestville, between me and you on the lamppost.
I want to go into, you know, more records of the album. You know, Never Gonna Give It Back, featuring J Hill, the singer. There's a lyric in it which goes, and I apologize if I butcher it. Making a melody y'all eager to move with. Seems you have a misunderstanding of the movement. We're never giving it back since they abused it. A few questions here. What's being abused, and when and why did it go wrong?
That's actually, that line was about the music, and that was just, you know, sometimes, and depending on what I'm actually consuming at the time, because I do listen to a lot of different ranges of music, I feel that the culture's been abused in the name of the monetary, you know, the monetary kickback. So a lot of times, the culture's been compromised just in order to make money, and that line was just to say, you know, we ain't going nowhere, and as far as the realness that's present in the culture, we here, we never going, we got the game, we got a grasp on it, you know what I'm saying, and we never going to get it back, you know what I'm saying. We here to represent that part of the culture. So that's what that line was actually speaking to.
Making a melody y'all eager to move with. Seems you have a misunderstanding about the movement. Since we haven't changed the standards, they misconstrued it. We are never giving it back since they abused it. Even when we offered them help, they still refused it. Laying on the concrete gagging, looking stupid.
I want to skip into the hook of the title track, Believe in Godzilla, because I think it connects to the question we just talked about. You know, the hook is believe in this, believe in that.
It's a wonder how people even believe in rap. Let them tell it they all killers, ice cold with no feelings. Let's make them believe in Godzilla.
Yeah. Believe in this and believe in that. It's a wonder how people even believe in rap. Let them tell it they all killers, ice cold with no feelings. Let's make them believe in Godzilla.
Pardon my lateness.
Why do you think the glorification of violence is now kind of what represents the commercial part of rap music? And do you think this representation will ever change?
Well, hip-hop, you know, when we started out, hip-hop was a reflection of the streets. Whatever was going on in the streets, it was going on in hip-hop, you know. And then there came a time where, you know, rappers started wearing costumes like the Furious Five. That wasn't really going on in the streets. They were just wearing costumes to represent the culture. Then Run DMC flipped it, like, we're going to wear these shell tops and these levers, and then the streets start wearing shell tops and levers. So it kind of go back and forth with the culture and with hip-hop. So now when you talk about the glorification of violence, that's happening a lot with the younger rappers. You see the Chicago rappers, particularly the younger ones, I forgot what they call it. They got a new style of rap. It ain't trap, but it's like that hype rap where everybody's on stage, 30 rappers, and they talking about guns and killing. But that's a negative, but it's not really a glorification, more so because that's really going on in Chicago. Right. If you read the headlines, that's what's going on in Chicago. It's also happening in D.C., it's happening in Detroit. So these breed of rappers are coming from, they represent their neighborhood, but they taking it into rap music. So therefore, they are saying what's going on in their streets, but as far as the art form, they're not presenting it properly. They're not studying the art and how to present this. Somebody's making money from flashing guns and talking about what's going on in the headlines of our streets, so let's do that. So anybody can rap when it's not hard, but there's an art, there's a culture that comes along with this, and the culture is meant to stop the violence that's going on in their streets. You can present it on rap, there's nothing wrong with that. If you got a song about, 20 people died this weekend in Baltimore or whatever happened, you can make a song about that, but you can't be like, you outkill 20 people. You got to tell the truth. It's 40 parents crying if 20 men died. You know, if they had parents, it's a lot of funerals and stuff. So I think that's the problem with the culture, that people are glorifying it, like I seen said in that rap, like they misusing it. So it's a way to say that, but not say that's a good thing, because it's not a good thing, and it's not a good thing to look at and see young people dancing to or actually making music to. It's, you know, that's my take on it.
I think that's a perfect segue to another record you guys do, is Plugged, featuring Stic Man of Dead Prez and Joe.D, where you address kind of police brutality and the police state we're living in. When police brutality is so prevalent, especially today, it seems like it's just at a rampant pace. Is creating a record like this kind of serves for you guys as a reminder of why you guys started to rap? And does this record kind of help you make sense of, or does the art help you guys make sense of social issues like this?
Yeah, man, it's just like, man, basically that song was a natural. Like it wasn't even, you know, put together for that purpose. Actually, it just came together that natural. And the way the current events works, you know, this is reality. So this is reality rap. It was nothing far from it true. You know what I'm saying? So everything that was on that track was going on like at that same time, you know. And it just so happened it was a perfect blend that we had the brother, the older guy from Dead Prez, Stic Man, come in and help us out and lend his words of wisdom and his history. But yeah, man, that like I said, it was a natural, man.
And shout out to Prez on the track as well, and Joe.D, who actually contributed a great element to that track. Yeah, like Powerful said, that was a track that was created like before a lot of these events occurred, and it was just a reflection of what was going on in the current times of then. You know, if you listen to the verses, they're real personal. The verses are real personal, and when we reached out to Stic Man, I told him I don't have to describe the track. We had to describe the track. It was more like it was talking about the police, but it was like loosely based. You know, we actually weren't going deep as we could have gone. We were just making the song just reflecting on our times, and just, you know, in the mixing and, you know, mixing and mastering and, you know, mixing of the song. Joe.D actually, you know, just actually thought to add the news clips in there because, you know, it was actually relevant. And that's how that song totally came about. So that was actually, and another big tidbit about that song, we actually had another single lined up. And just as a product of the time, we actually moved that single up and said we're going to release that before the album drop. Just, you know, just so people can get a gist of where we are and where we've been as far as our mindset is concerned when it comes to things like police.
When you see them, let them have it, give it all you got. Hakeem Elijah, one of them pigs posted on your block. With them rockets, they main focus is cannon sharp. You get the picture from the negative, we in the dark. They packing 9, now them cowards think they Tony Starks. That's to the ER visit, they can't save them, now they ghost face. Mama try to curb this behavior, that's why she pray to Savior every night. But in the morning, she's still mourning as the coroner has her ID who the corpse is. You know the same story repeats today on the evening news. Soundtrack by Lazille, the thrill is gone, so we left with blues.
And did you guys want to make, were you guys purposely also trying to make this kind of track, Plugged, timeless because you want your music to be timeless, or because it doesn't seem like, unfortunately, like police brutality is going to end, you know, anytime soon?
Yeah, I mean, that if you think back, like anything can apply this time. You take NWA Anthem about the police, you know, that's before, so this has been going on for a very, very, very long time. With the social media craze, now every time a black man dies at the hands of a police, it's on Twitter right away, you know. CNN has to cover it because Facebook is not going to let it die. Twitter ain't going to let it die. Instagram. But if it was Instagram in 1990, believe me, it would already have been a Trayvon Martin, a Mike Brown, and so on and so on. It's been going on every year. If you open the books in these police departments, you would see it was going on. So we didn't need, you know, social media or a trendy topic for it to be done like that. It was just, it's what we know from growing up in Forestville. It's what Powerful know from growing up in Brooklyn. It's what we know from having uncles and fathers, you know. So it's been this way since the release of, you know, since the abolishment of slavery in this country. It's always been black men trying to get to a status to be be considered a citizen in this country. So that track is natural. Like everything, all the music we make, we try to make it universal. So it's our experience in comparison to yours. We try to give you a sight, and a lot of people can relate because we stick to the realities of the situation. So plug, like they said, it came about naturally. You know, Mike Brown, that clip came in later because it had happened, but that song was already locked and loaded months and months ago, you know. So that's just how it is, kind of. When you speaking the truth, it's going to come to life all the time. It's reality.
On that note, I ain't even religious, but I pray that my people come through on a visit. Female CEOs need to let a nigga hit it. I'm dry as shit, I ain't had no pussy in a minute. MTV come to the cell, see how we living. They ain't give us no bell, we in here wishing that we could go outside one day. When it happened, get married, move far away.
Circle tighter than them handcuffs. They performing, telling him to put his hands up. And they looking for a reason, any reason to squeeze it and leave him leaning. Yo, circle tighter than them handcuffs. Knee to the head, face to the canvas. And they looking for a reason, any reason to squeeze it and leave him leaning.
Coming out of Maryland, PG, 2 letters describe it best. Forestville be hot, so we ride like it's the driver test. No sooner than I bust the left, cops in my rear view, feeling like apocalypse, trying to get a clear view. Feds always keep me in their crosshairs, looking at me crazy like, nigga, you don't belong here. Cause I got this hoodie on, thinking like, where have all the soldiers gone? Legacy is longer than the tribute song. It's a damn shame, biggest gangs coming out academies. Hit the beat, then they get the battering. Here's a list of shit that we all no longer having, man. They're constantly harassing and accusations for trafficking.
Just like they did the Africans, shackled to the slave ships, whip marks carved on our backs like hieroglyphs, cut our fingers off, but we still had to hold on, beat our brains out, seeing stars like the Doggone, dreams of a mutiny, maroons and gorillas, rebelling like zombies, Colombo village, a taste of freedom, even if it's just minutes. I must have blacked out and woke up with a vengeance, police coming toward me, sirens in the distance, my DNA is pre-programmed for resistance, and I ain't going out like Cain did in minutes. I'ma fight to the finish, conquer like the Moors did the Spanish.
There is outrage tonight from those reacting to a Ferguson police officer shooting and killing an 18-year-old. The community is flooding the streets of North County demanding answers.
Have your license, please. Get a guard!
See him, let him have it, give it all you got. Hakeem Elijah want them pigs posted on your block. With them rockets, they main focus is cannon sharp. You get the picture from the negative, we in the dark. They packing 9, now them cowards think they Tony Starks. That's to the ER visit, they can't save them, now they ghost face. Mama try to curb this behavior, that's why she pray to Savior every night. But in the morning, she's still mourning as the coroner has her ID who the corpse is. You know the same story repeats today on the evening news. Soundtrack by Lucille, the thrill is gone, so we left with blues. You still talking all that Utah jazz. Daddy, yo, calm down before they bury your ass. It can all be so simple as a squeeze lemon, still sinning, looking for direction like a thespian. We less than numb by 2/5. I'm just quoting Constitution. You're back against the wall, say fuck it and start shooting. Blindly like Helen Keller, ruthless like Jerry Heller. Know the brothers 3 made famous through acapellas.
Yo, circle tighter than them handcuffs. Knee to the head, face to the canvas. And they looking for a reason, any reason to squeeze it and leave them leaning.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we are predicting the unpredictable. Our experts are using a patient's own anatomy to create 3D-printed, life-size organ models to map out challenges ahead of time, making complex surgeries more precise, efficient, and less invasive. We are making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.